Welcome to Exotics Racing. We've got our main event for race number 1 this evening. We've got Roman even on the pole there, and that's going to be in the number 82. We've got Sammy Valafar in the second place car there, starting on that grid in the number 83. David Paraset is in the number 86 in third, and Roger Eagleton is starting in fourth place in the number 80 car. Lisa Clark is in the number 89, starting in fifth, with Bill Hines in the 57, starting there in sixth with Hannah Zellers in seventh, and she's in the number 33, and Mark Ramsey rounding out the field in eighth place in the number 88. These drivers are going to roll out there in just a quick moment, and it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. We hope you are ready and excited for the racing event that's going to take place in mere moments. This is looking good. We got quite a field. Should be a good time. Drivers are staged. Pace car is ready. Officials look ready. I think we've got ourselves a race. Tonight's race is going to be an 18-lap event. You'll notice they will go out with 2 pace laps before going green. The first lap, they will get the cars warmed up, get the tires, a little bit of heat in there. Second lap, they will stage that field, and then they'll take that green flag. Drivers all look ready. They're giving their cars one quick last look over. Everything looks good. It sounds like we got some excited folks out there. Let's give these drivers a big hoorah and congratulations throughout this evening. This is going to be a lot of fun, and thank you for everybody who's taken the time to help this event run tonight. And there goes the pace car. Cars are taking to the track. And they're headed around to turn 1 and turn 2. Field is warming. That Ferrari 488 GTB sure looks great as a pace car out there. Cars are building up that heat. They're on the inner loop coming through, and I'll be taking one more pace lap and getting ready for that green flag. Cars are coming out of the final turn here, turn 10, making their way onto the front stretch. One more lap to go, and they'll be ready to race. Cars are coming out of turn 2. Cars are heading to the inner loop. Cars are starting to get together here in this pack. Got Roman in first place, Sammy in second, David in third, Roger in fourth, Lisa in fifth, Bill in sixth, and Hannah in seventh, with Mark bringing up the final position there of the top 8. They're stacking up nicely. Coming down to turn 10, they're going to be entering in just a moment. Pack's looking good. Need to get that last 2 cars a little tighter, but I think we're going to have a good start here. Here they come. Pace cars off. And green, green, green. We've got a race. Oh, and it looks like it's a wave off. The field was not stacked up correctly. We're going to take one more lap. They're headed down to turn 2, coming through nice. Along the back stretch, heading down to treacherous turn 3. Turn 3 requires a lot of braking. They're looking good. Really thought we were having a restart. This looks great. We've got these cars turning nice and fast through turn 4. That's a double apex over there technically. Coming down, and we've still got Roman leading the pack with Sammy in second place, David in third, Roger in fourth, and Lisa rounding out the top 5. Roman's opened a nice gap up, very smooth braking. They're exiting nice and wide now. We've got a great single file run here. Everybody's getting comfortable with their rides, looking good. And headed down to turn 1. They're headed down our 1,800-foot straightaway here, and you are going to find them coming to turn 2 upwards of 125 to 140 miles an hour. Looking good, single file heading through. We don't see any real aggressive overtaking just yet. Cars are still pretty much where they started. Hannah's moved up 1 position. That's Hannah in 6th place right now. Bill's dropped back to 7th. And they're on the inner loop looking real good. They have some stability in those cars now. The heat's built up in those tires. Everybody looks pretty hooked up. And here they come out of the last turn, back onto the front stretch. Roman continues to lead with Sammy right behind him, right on his heels. A little bit of a gap to 3rd place there with David, and then Roger following right behind. Lisa's now picking up that. Pulled up, and Lisa's got that 5th place. Hannah's dropped back to last. And she looks like she's having some kind of mechanical failure out there on the inner loop. She's back going again here. And they're entering the inner loop. Roman is still out there in the front. He's got himself about a half-second lead. Right on his tail now again is Sammy with a good run through the inner loop there. 3rd and 4th, David and Roger fighting it out back there for 3rd and 4th place, and it's looking good. They're side by side, and Roger goes for the pass. And they maintain their positions. Roman up front, Sammy in 2nd, David in 3rd, Roger in 4th, and they swap positions. Roger is now in 3rd. David's dropped back to 4th with Lisa coming through, followed by Bill, Mark, and Hannah. Hannah's car appears to be running pretty good now. Must have been just perhaps a quick fluke there. Hannah appears to be making up some ground. All she can hope for is a yellow flag at this point. David slips down one more spot. And Roman and Sammy are coming through back onto the main stretch into the final turn here. Into the front stretch. Will be up here in just a quick second. Looking good. Boy, Roman can handle that, I tell you. Roger and David come by with aggression. And David is back to fourth place there. We've got Lisa and Bill coming through the front stretch right now. They're looking really good. Nice and stable. And we got Mark, who appears to have had a little trouble there in the infield, in that inner loop. So he's lost a little bit of position on the track, with Hannah still bringing up the rear end there. Roman and Sammy still continue to fight for that front spot there in first place. They're coming around the inner loop again, looking good. And Hannah crossed the stripe there. Roman and Sammy have opened up a huge gap between third and fourth. That must be at least 15 car lengths. And Roger and David still fighting it out for third and fourth. Another large gap back to Lisa and Bill coming out of the final turn right now. They are right on top of each other, same exact line, both looking really good. Mark's coming out of that final turn now. Looks like he's gaining some ground back on the field. And Hannah's running the inner loop. Roman and Sammy heading to turn 4, back into that double apex, coming into the inner loop, looking good. Roger and David are still fighting it out for that third and fourth, all the way through the inner loop. Everybody's really got some comfort in their cars this evening. And Roman and Sammy scream by the start and finish line here. Really tight margins. There must be a quarter second between the two of them. And David and Roger have the same thing going here in third and fourth. Tiny gap between them. You can barely fit a piece of paper between these cars. Lisa and Bill are coming through. Bill's on a huge slide through the final turn there. Saves it. Brings it across the stripe. Lost a little bit of time. Got about 3 or 4 car lengths stretched out due to that overdriving. Mark crosses the stripe again. Still gaining ground. That fight for third and fourth is looking pretty crazy. David looks like he's going to make a move on the inside, and he makes the pass on Roger. Looking good. Fought hard for that. He's opened up a gap between Roger now. And back to first place. We got Roman still running strong over there. And he's got Sammy right on his heels, looking real aggressive there, coming out of the final turn onto the front stretch. As that gap is down to about 3/4 of a second. Now this is getting good. Look at this third, fourth, fighting as they come out of the final turn into the front stretch, side by side, right across the stripe. Incredible driving. Absolutely action-packed here at Exotics Racing today. Now we got Lisa and Bill. Bill's still got that little gap between him after losing some ground in the last lap. Mark's looking nice and solid. He's coming through the final turn here, definitely making up some ground as well. Hannah is being chased down by the leaders at this point. We've got Roman and Sammy both running strong, coming up. Oh, they're eating her up. She's got that blue flag. She's going to have to yield to those cars as they come through that inner loop. Roman makes a pass. Sammy promptly right behind. And we've got Roger and David swapping positions again for that third and fourth position. This is getting exciting, folks. Roman and Sammy scream by the start-finish line. And Roger and David come by again. Roger's still fighting off David after the exchange of positions 1 lap ago. We got Lisa and Bill coming out of the final turn. And again, a little aggressive. Bill's getting a little loose. He recovers it, but again, lost some more ground there. Roman and Sammy head into turn 3 again. Roman's lost some ground to Sammy here. Sammy's catching up to him. And you may remember Sammy is one of those off-road drivers, so he likes it a little bit loose there. Roger and David dive into turn 3. Looks like they're fighting for position again, swapping back and forth, third and fourth. Hannah's fighting to get back on that lead lap. As Roman and Sammy scream by again, mere inches between the cars. Roger and David coming up to turn 4. Whoa, and Roger gets a little loose. David got some ground gained there on him. Looking good as they're coming down into turn 1 again, nice and aggressive. Lisa's opened up a huge gap on Bill. That gap is extended out to almost 3 seconds there. Lisa's definitely pulling away. Trying to make up some ground, stay in that top 5. Bill's fighting hard for it. We got Mark coming across the line right now. His gap between 6th and 7th has definitely gotten larger. And back to Roman and Sammy fighting it out for first. Roman's opened up that gap to about 6 car lengths now, and that's getting aggressive. It's carrying that speed. Took a nice wide exit out of the final turn. We know that you get throttle that much quicker. Roger and David are fighting tight again. Coming out of the final turn. Oh, and Roger gets loose. David is all over him. And David had to lift to make sure he didn't get into the rear end there. Lisa's coming into that final turn, looking stable still. She's pretty much held her position between Bill and her rear bumper there. Now we've got Mark working the inner loop still. He's coming into the final turn here now himself. But back to that leader, Roman has pulled it out again. We've got at least 6 car lengths there. Sammy's doing everything he can to get those positions back. David and Roger continue to fight it out on that inner loop. Again, just maybe 1 car length as Roman and Sammy cruise right on by. Now Roman's opened up that gap to about 2 seconds. David is all